Hi everyone, today I have for you the top 10 troop interactions in Clash of Clans. This includes troops, spells, heroes and more. And I'll be ranking them in the order of first the ones that are most well known and later on the ones that are less well known. And all of these hopefully can help you to level up your game and use them in many situations to defeat more bases or even in base building. But let's get started right away with number 10. And right at number 10 we have the lightning spell radius. I rank this as number 10 because a lot of people probably know this by now since the lightning spell has been out for a while, but basically the radius of the lightning spell is 2 tiles. So if we drop a lightning spell on this middle tile, it's going to go, or let's do it 1, 2 to the side, 1, 2 to either side, just like this. And how about the diagonal tiles? Well, one tile diagonal is really more than like a full tile. So you really have to go 1 and then 2. So that's how you make it like 1, 2. Now, one thing I noticed I didn't put in the original recording is if you put a lightning spell over here, how is it going to hit this tile? Well, just like the other ones, it goes 1 over here. And then this is really less than another tile. All you need is you're just barely touching the tile. So it's like less than going 1, 2. So just like 1 and then kind of touches it. So it's like 1.5 tiles like that. So that's how it works. And these maxed out walls over here, if I drop a lightning spell in the center, would not be hit by the lightning spell, which is how we'll prove that the range I'm showing you is correct. Now let's try it out. Now we're going to be dropping a lightning spell right on the middle tiles. As you can see, all of the walls that were not maxed have been hit. This wall has been left on full HP, just like this one, but these walls have been damaged. And next up we have the radius of the jump spell, and the jump spell has a total diameter spanning of 7 tiles. So let's show you what we mean over here. This gap is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, to place a perfect jump spell and connect these two compartments together, which we'll test with sneaky goblins, we need to drop a jump spell anywhere right in the middle, and it's going to go 1, 2, 3 to this side, 1, 2, 3 to the other side, and the compartments will be connected. Time to drop the jump spell. We have to be very precise. Drop the sneaky goblins, and as you're going to see, they're going to jump over this wall. It looks so close, but they just made it to the other side, and that's great. Now coming in at number 8, something that some people know, some people don't, and people have different ways of counting it, is the Archer Queen's range. Now one way, which I don't really use to count this, is with a skeleton trap. Some people say that if you place a skeleton trap inside a compartment and it touches a building, that means the Archer Queen will be able to reach it. For example, it looks like this air defense can be reachable. What else? I suppose this bomb tower can be reached too, and that's correct. But what's a nicer way to count it, which can also be helpful when you're attacking, because when you're attacking a base, you'll just have to count quickly. You can't really pull out a skeleton trap because, you're not in village edit mode. You're like in the attack. So basically what you do is you count 5 tiles. Now here, if the queen was in this compartment, you take this wall, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's take a wall. The 5th tile would go right on the air defense, and the queen can reach this one. How about from here? Well, this wall is still, the queen can touch it. So you go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can't touch this air defense. How about this one? 1, 2, 3, 4. And you go to the side, 5. You still can't touch it. How about the bomb tower? Well, you'd go 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th tile touches the bomb tower. It can be reached. How about this air defense? You can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can't reach the air defense, or what's more commonly known, if you have experience, 3 tiles diagonal, the queen cannot reach it, and let's prove this right here. Now one more example which I forgot to set up and might confuse some people is what if this air defense was right over here? Well, how would the queen reach it? It would go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then not 5 into empty space, but it's already touching the air defense, just like this. So you really only need 0.1 of a tile to reach the air defense. So the queen would be able to reach the air defense over here, just like with the lightning spell example, as you remember. If you're touching, if you're just touching this, it's like 0.1 of a tile, and the queen would reach the air defense. Let's drop the queen now. She's only going to hit this air defense and this bomb tower. Let's show you that right here. Everything else will be unreachable for the archer queen. She's going to start attacking a wall. And, yep, she's hitting the wall just like I told you. Now coming in at number 7, we have the fireball radius. And this is, again, something that some people know, but some people don't know the exact radius of it. We'll be showing you in normal and hard mode. You're free to take screenshots of these pictures, but I'll explain how to memorize it as well, because that's also quite nice and helpful in an attack. So let's pick a green color. So this 3x3 building in normal mode, so the fireball can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to the side. And all those tiles in front of the monolith can also go 5. Now this, I say it's 1 to the side. So you go 1 to the side and then it's still 5. Now if you go 2 to the side of the monolith, like this, 2 or 3, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the diagonal is 1, 2, 3. And now we have for 2x2 and 4x4 defenses. So for this Inferno Tower 4x4, also super easy. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like the 3x3 building. Those are the tiles in front of the Inferno Tower. Now how about to the side? 1 to the side also goes 5, 2 to the side also goes same range, even 3 to the side. So 1, 2, and 3 to the side of the Inferno Tower keeps going 5 tiles forward, and then the diagonal is 4 tiles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and really you'll just have to memorize it if you want. How about a 4x4 building, like the Eagle, or now at Town Hall 18, we don't have any 4x4 buildings, but hey, it's always nice to know. These ones have a smaller range, so 1, 2, 3, 4 instead of 5, and then all the tiles in front of the Eagle, of course, are the same. But how about to the side? 1 to the side still goes 4, and 2 to the side still goes 4, and the diagonal is 1, 2, 3. How about for hard mode? Well, in hard mode, a 3x3 building follows the same pattern as in normal mode, only for 3x3s. We'll see the other ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, one less than normal mode. All the tiles in front of the monolith are the same. How about 1 to the side? It also goes 4. And just like with the normal mode values in hard mode also, when you go 2 and 3 to the side, it gets 1 less. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then the diagonal is 1, 2, 3. Same as normal mode. How about an Inferno Tower? 1 less than in hard mode, normal mode. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 tiles in front of the Inferno Tower for this and this. How about 1 to the side? It's still the same, 4 tiles. 2 to the side, it's still the same, 4 tiles. And you might remember in normal mode, it kept going for 3 to the side. It was like this, but with this one, only 2 to the side. And diagonal 1, 2, 3. So memorize these however you like. 4x4 buildings now in hard mode. 1, 2, 3 for the tiles in front of the Town Hall, for example, at Town Hall 17. 1, 2, 3, and goes 1 to the side as well. 1, 2, 3, and then you just know diagonal is 2, and that's how you know the fireball radius is. Next up at number 6, we have the Flame Flinger splash radius, and now we're getting into the things that not as many people know. So for the Flame Flinger splash radius, believe it or not, but it's actually super small. So if you have those 2 air defenses, they're 1 tile apart, 1 tile in between them, well, the Flame Flinger can splash them. And of course, if they were touching, the Flame Flinger would splash them both. But these two buildings that are have two tiles in between them won't get splashed by the flame flinker. It's just too far away. Now how about some diagonal cases? These buildings, which are touching each other on the diagonal, will get splashed by the flame flinker because of course they're touching each other, so it makes sense. But how about this, one diagonal in between? Well, the flame flinker actually won't splash them because one diagonal is really more than the one tile as you see it right here. This is like really you're going like one and then, or like one and a bit more. But now another interesting example, this is the closest you can make two buildings without the flame flinker splashing them. Come on, range, go. Basically just like this. So what you do is you have these buildings touching on the diagonal. All you do is move it one tile to the side. You get the same kind of pattern. You see there's this little sliver of a line connecting them, just like this. And this pattern will make sure the flame flinker doesn't splash both buildings, which you can use in base building to your advantage. Now let's prove this to you guys. These two buildings won't get splashed by the flame flinker. So let's just place a flame flinker right here. And it should not hit the second ricochet cannon because it's just barely out of range, as you can see. How about this now? We're going to hit the multi-order tower and it will splash the ricochet cannon because they're just touching each other on the diagonal, like you remember. You see the ricochet cannon is taking damage. Let's just put this under overgrowth now and prove to you the next situation. There's one diagonal separating these two buildings, which is why they won't get splashed together by the flame flinker. So it hits the ricochet cannon. It's not splashing onto the multi-order tower at all. And the final situation we have for you. Let's go and attack this multi-order tower. It should not hit the air defense. And then once we hit the air defense, it's going to hit the other air defense, as you're going to see. Let's just refresh the overgrowths. You see the air defense isn't getting hit, but now we can go to these air defenses. Once the flame flinker moves very slowly, super slow, but you're going to see hits it, and come on, it'll take a while, but right here the air defense just barely starts to take a tiny bit of damage. Just like when they're like barely touching on the diagonal, the damage is small, but it continues to ramp up. Now coming in at number 5, we have the Royal Champion's range, which is 3 tiles, and you can use this to your advantage in a few ways. So if you have these walls around here, you see 1, 2, 3, the Royal Champion can't hit this ricochet cannon from behind the wall. She's going to have to jump over them and hit it. But if you drop the Royal Champion around here, she's going to actually like going around the wall and hitting the ricochet cannon, therefore hitting the spring trap. Same with this situation over here. She could jump the wall, which she might in some cases, but very often the Royal Champion loves going around the walls, which is where you can bait her with spring traps, which is an interesting idea that you can sometimes use. Now here, we're going to drop the Royal Champion pretty close to the wall. She won't like to jump over it. Instead, she'll just go around. If she's too far away, then she'll jump over the wall. But rather often, she likes to go around the walls just like that and hitting the spring traps. Now coming in at number 4 is actually a trick with the invisibility spell. And a few people might know this who play fireballs, but a big majority of people don't know why their invisibility spells miss. And believe it or not, it's harder than you think to make a building invisible. To make a building invisible by the invisibility spell, all you have to do is actually hit this point of the building over here, the tip. If you touch the building anywhere else, it has nothing to do with making the building invisible, and the building will not go invisible, as I'll prove to you right now. So you have to make this point of the building invisible with other buildings. For example, the town hall, which was important in the past, you'd have to hit this. You can't hit anywhere else, the building won't go invisible. Now I've shown this trick before on my channel, but let's show it again because it's always fun to see. So we'll go like this, like this. Building still not invisible. You see, I basically touched the whole orchard tower and it did not go invisible. Let's do it with the town hall as well. It might be hard because it's on the edge here. 1, 2, 3. You can see I basically made the whole town hall invisible, but it did not go invisible because I did not touch the tip of it just like this. You see, it barely clipped it. Same with the orchard tower. Now, it's a bit easier to make this invisible, but as you can see, you have to touch that point, otherwise the building will not go invisible. Now at number 3, we have the ice golem freeze effect, which, believe it or not, is super important when you want to tank for like a king with an ice golem. You want to tank maybe for your root riders or any other kind of army where you need an ice golem to tank. You want the ice golem to freeze up the defenses that are close by. So, and on base building, you would want to make sure this is not possible. So the freeze of the ice golem actually goes 7.5 tiles, which is huge. Now, if you drop an ice golem here, the freeze is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and not quite 8, so it won't, because it's 7.5, so it won't hit the center of this ricochet cannon. Therefore, less than half of the ricochet cannon will be kind of hit by the freeze, which means it won't get frozen. But in a situation like this, you place an ice golem here to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, and even a bit more, 7.5, so it'll basically cover more than half of the ricochet cannon. Therefore, the ice golem will freeze it. And same with this builder hut. Some people might be confused because they see like there's a bit more of an empty gap here, just like with this. But this builder hut, it depends where it starts off, just like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 7.5 kind of goes a bit past half the ricochet cannon. And let's demonstrate it right here. This is the perfect compartment to build, right? This one to stop an ice golem from freezing a ricochet cannon. So let's prove it. The other two will be frozen by the ice golems. So let's wait as the ice golems are attacked. And let's see. One of them will not freeze, the other two will freeze. You see, just barely, those two clipped it. This one did not. And that's the range of the ice golem freeze. Now coming up at number 2 is the wall breakers. And there are 2 parts to this one. One part that some people know, one that I think a lot less people know about. Now, wall breaker explosions. You want to, for example, if you have 2 compartments like this, you don't want a wall breaker to be able to open both of them up. In this situation, the wall break is going to open these 2 compartments. But if you make a compartment like this, where there's a 2 tile gap between them here and here, then the wall breaker will not be able to open the compartments up. Now, how does this work exactly? What's the exact range of the wall breaker? Well, a wall breaker, if it targets a wall like this, for example, it's usually going to open one to the side here, one to the side here, and one diagonal. So it has a very simple range, one on either side. So if we took this example for over here, wall breakers like to target walls with buildings behind them, and the best it's going to do to open up these compartments is maybe target this wall because it's kind of diagonal to the builder hut, so it kind of sees the builder hut around it, and therefore it will open this, this, and this. But if we got a situation like this wall is diagonal to the builder hut, and if the wall breaker hits it, well, it can only open up this and whatever might be over here, but it won't open up both compartments. Now, unfortunately, I set this up a bit badly because if you play a wall break here, it actually can, I think, open both compartments because like right on top of the compartment is like so close and it's going to explode perfectly. But in a normal base, which we'll see in a second, this won't be possible. Now we have this nice example here, this base that was built at some point by General X from Reported Gaming, and we'll try to wall break both compartments. You see he has the right setup with a 2-tile gap around the walls. Let's hit the middle, and it just doesn't open up. And we can try it again. He does the same thing here. Okay, this one's a bit different, but still doesn't open up. Now, it might be possible in rare cases to open up both walls, but you can never count on it or plan on that happening, so you should really not count on it. Now, one example which I can show from the base I set up is over here. We're going to drop a wall break. It's going to target this wall till explode 1, 1, 1 to each side and 1 diagonal. So boom, just like we said, 1 to each side and 1 diagonal. And as we said, wall breakers don't like to target corner walls for some reason. So they're often gonna target the wall next to the corner. If you have like a situation with a compartment with a defense on the outside, like, you know, those ricochet cannon compartments that are just a ricochet cannon with walls around it on the outside. Well, that's how you can think of the wall breaks around them. And like, you know, if you want any of the walls around to open up. And now finally, for number 1, something that took me so long to record and set up and figure out that I had to record it on a totally different day is the range of the Overgrowth spell. I'm actually doing this a few days later, but there are a few things to talk about with the range of the Overgrowth spell. As you might notice over here, there are some walls around these buildings. These walls show where you can drop your Overgrowth spell, and it'll clip the building in the middle if you place the Overgrowth spell on any of these walls, whether with 3x3, 4x4 or 2x2 buildings. Now, as you might notice about the patterns over here, and also I'll give you guys a chance to screenshot them as well as we'll keep talking, because there are a few things to say. So here, screenshot them if you like. Now, in terms of the patterns over here, you might notice that they look a little strange. There are more walls towards the bottom side. On the sides over here, it's equal, and on the back side, there are less walls. Well, what does this mean exactly? Probably this means that the Overgrowth spell works like the invisibility spell. If you remember that, you'd know that the invisibility spell had to clip some point in the building which was more towards the bottom side, and that would make the whole building invisible. So probably since the Overgrowth spell works the same way, you're able to drop it a bit farther down towards the bottom side, since this will be closer to that point, and from the sides you can drop it a bit but you'd have to drop it closer actually, and from the back side it'll have to be dropped even closer. Now, since these patterns are so irregular and like a bit strange, of course no one can be expected to memorize all of this, but we can at least know the basic ranges, which I'll show you, and these can help you maybe in Legends League when you do your attacks, and you want to know like, okay, I have these two buildings right in front of each other, but will an Overgrowth right in the center clip both of them? Yes or no? Well, this can help to answer that. And you can always use, of course, the exact ranges if maybe you're planning some clan war attack and you want, like, you know, to place a perfect Overgrowth. And this is probably pretty rare as well, but, you know, it's always nice to at least have it. I don't think anyone made an Overgrowth chart before, so I guess this is the first one. Now, in terms of buildings like this cannon, this 3x3 building, how can you kind of remember it? Well, we'll think about two ranges that we need to know: the walls in front of the cannon and the diagonals, because those are pretty much like the same everywhere. So these three walls are technically, we'd count them the ones in front of the cannon, because they go like this and like this, like they're basically directly in front. And these walls that are directly in front on all sides, whether here, 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 they go for 4 tiles. So what I mean is you can drop an Overgrowth here. It would need to go 1, 2, 3. And on the 4th tile, it would hit the ricochet cannon. This is like 5 if you hit it directly in the middle. But hey, if you want to memorize it a bit more easily, you can think of it as just 4. It'll be pretty safe as well. And also just an extra note about these. Maybe on some of them you can go like one tile extra to the side or wherever with the range of the overgrowth spell, but the ranges I picked after all the testing I did were ones that would be like 100% consistent all of the time, and even if you mess up by like half a tile or so, you'll still overgrowth the building, because of course it is kind of a big deal if you mess up the overgrowth spell, so we don't want to add any risk into these. But again, back to 3x3 buildings, you drop an overgrowth anywhere in front of the cannon. It needs to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the range to the side. The diagonal everywhere is 3 tiles. So you drop it here. It needs to go 1, 2, 3 till it hits the cannon. Same here, but from the back side, it's 2 tiles. So again, to recap with this one, it's 4 tiles to the side always when it's in front of the cannon, and the diagonal is 3 except from the back where it's 2. Now how about a 4x4 building like the army camp? Well, of course in Town Hall 18, like we know, those don't really exist 4x4 defenses, but again, it's nice to know as always. And how do these work? Well, in front of the army camp, it's 4 tiles from kind of the bottom side over here, those 2. But then those 2 at the back can only go 3 tiles. So you drop an overgrowth here, 1, 2, 3. And then the diagonal everywhere is 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2, and even 2 from the back. So this one is also pretty simple. Again, to recap, 4 tiles from the bottom side if you're going in front of the building like this, 3 from the back side, and 2 diagonal everywhere. Now how about a 2x2 building like the Inferno Tower? This one has a slightly longer range, and as you'll see in front of the Inferno Tower, those tiles, it goes 5 actually, but only from the bottom side. So it goes, you drop it here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So from the bottom side, it's going to be 5. From the farther outside, it's going to be 4, and the diagonal is 3 everywhere, although except over here, it's 4 from the side closer to you, I guess, however you want to remember it. So these are at least what I would remember and memorize, because I think they would be the simplest and most useful if you ever need them. And of course, these aren't only helpful with knowing the extremes, but very often you'll come up with situations that are a bit less than the extreme, and you'll know, okay, it's like 3 tiles maybe for this cannon, and it's going to be a pretty safe overgrowth to place, so you'll also be more confident in those. But now, how do we know that these are true? Of course, I tested them, but I will also give you guys the link to this base in the description to be able to test it yourself. But I tested it a lot. One day I tested for like an hour and a half to get like 95% of it correct. And then just before recording this, I tested all the ranges one more time to make sure. I needed to make like 1 or 2 changes on each one just to be super safe. And I think these are the ranges that are perfect for the overgrowth spell. But again, if you guys want to, you're free to test them out. I put the link for this in the description, so you can try placing the overgrowths on any of these walls, and you'll see how it still clips the building in the middle. And if you place them outside the walls, well, most of the time it won't clip the building. It might in a rare case, but again, that would be considered like a more risky situation. But I guess that's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. You learned a bit from all these different interesting interactions in this video. You can always, review them, and eventually with some experience and practice, you'll get to know all of them, and hopefully they also help you improve your game by playing, always more precise timings and placements, which is always great. So yeah, thanks a lot, and bye-bye.